Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna sing my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, we've got some interesting news today. Okay, I'll say hello to everyone first. How you going? Out to lunch? Deb, Alex, who else have we got in here? Sherry, how you going? Jason, how you going? Good to see ya. Jim, how you going? J1, good to see you guys. George, how you going? And Alex, of course, always. Good to see you guys. Okay, thank you, Alex, for this, because I just looked it up while the intro was happening. Hang on, I've got a cough already. Hang on a sec, guys. And hey, Lady Stardust, how you doing? Okay, Nick Sautor said, breaking, the Trump DOJ has fired Maureen Comey, daughter of disgraced FBI Director James Comey, finally. Maureen was a prosecutor for the Southern District of New York and played a key role in prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell and Diddy, who she conveniently let off a lot of the serious charges, which was not a rumour, it was true. Okay, we'll get to Epstein in a minute. We've got a lot to go over, and I'm just going to bring you information. It's up to you what you do with it. It's up to you what you believe. I'm just going to bring it to you. Things you probably haven't heard. Dr. Malouf said in Palestine, they'll throw you off a fucking bridge. These people who effing hate you want you dead. A young woman tells it like it is to a crowd of queers for Palestine. Let's have a look at this.
I like it. You can go to Palestine and see how they treat you there. They're not like gay people. If they'll throw you off a fucking bridge. People who hate you who would burn you to death and use you as an example. Go ahead, touch me with that flag. I will rip it out of your hand. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of anybody. Okay?
I love it. You're awesome. Keep it up.
Like it, you can go to Palestine and see how they treat.
We'll start a GoFundMe. I've said this ages ago. We'll start a GoFundMe and send all these protesters over to Palestine so they can protest over there and see how they go. I don't think they're going to go very well. But that's just my opinion. Oh, hey, go on, Kai. Good to see ya. Okay, V said Australian government takes away guns, imports the third world. What could possibly go wrong? Yes, we're seeing what could possibly go wrong. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. While our Prime Minister's over in China on a taxpayer-funded holiday and he can't even get a meeting with Trump. Yeah, good one. Patriot Storm 17 said, never forget how mainstream just tried to psy-up you guys into believing Trump, the first president to actually attack human trafficking, was trying to protect pedos, because he's not. And once I read all these, it should become clear to you. If it's not, then you're still stuck in that. Okay, we'll see. Eric Doherty said, breaking, Trump federal housing director Bill, I don't know how to say that, Pult, officially requests a tour of the Fed renovations costing $2.5 billion after Trump says Jerome Powell could be removed if he committed fraud. As someone with deep experience in construction, I'm requesting to tour the Fed building and the new ridiculous renovations, which I believe are riddled with fraud. Powell has to go. Well, they're not the only one. The government does it too. In Australia anyway, sorry. That's how they run these things. They give so much money to someone for something, to do something like maybe roadworks. It blows way out of cost. People get paid that shouldn't be getting paid for a job they're not even doing. It's just ridiculous. But that's how their red tape works, it looks like. Brian Cates, political columnist and pundit, said, remember, he's not really running for re-election. He's going to be 82 in 2029, has no intentions of serving in the White House until he's 86. He's going to get all this stuff settled now in his last third term. Or maybe not. Biggest loyalty test ever. Who's going to stick and who's going to jump ship? Here we go. Donald J. Trump said, the radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again. Just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell which the Dems swore had come from Russia. No, it came from Hunter Biden's bathroom. And even the Russia scam itself, totally fake and made up story used in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in the 2016 presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters are brought into this bullshit. Hook, line and sinker. They haven't learnt their lesson and probably never will. Even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years, I've had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history. And all these people want to talk about with strong prodding by the fake news and the success-starved Dems is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. Now, let me explain something. I wondered years ago how and why Sean Atwood was talking about Epstein and had Virginia Giuffre on, right? Because I don't trust him as far as I could throw him. The mainstream news were all talking about Epstein. And you've got to wonder why, right? Now, I believe he's going to go another route, and Epstein may be let off, but he may not have done what we thought he did. But other people have, right? He's going to go the long way. They're playing the long game, so is he. He's going to go the long way around and he's going to get them for something else. And it might be treason or whatever. Okay, so if they have destroyed it, yes, Tommy, how you going? Yes, there's an earthquake that could hit Alaska. The tsunami may hit Alaska. I've got something in here about it. It's just very quickly touching on it, though. Okay, Brendan Dilley said, let's break down the Epstein hoax. Step 1, take a legitimate criminal, exaggerate the influence of this criminal to almost boogeyman status for years. Step 2, trusted Trump admins promise to get to the bottom of this greatly exaggerated issue. Step 3, Trump officials get into positions of power and thoroughly investigate remaining documents. Step 4, Trump FBI realise that the reporting has been massively overblown and the conspiracy is much smaller and more specific than even they thought. Step 5, try and tell people the facts which no longer support a theory they adopted as a reality over many years. Step 6, anti-MAGA weaponise this cognitive dissonance against Trump to fracture his base. Divide and conquer, anyone? Step 7, Trump goes hard and tells people it's bullshit. Believe me or not, I'm focused on MAGA and you can keep getting played by the Epstein hoax. Step 8, retards who built an entire brand and identity around a believed reality can't let go of it because then they'd have to question everything else they've adopted as a permanent truth. Step 9, Trump doesn't need your vote, is building a broader coalition for the midterms while cleaning up the election fraud. So he's done hand-holding retards in his base and tells them to F off. Step 10, Trump is proven right yet again and influencers never recover. And I'm just giving you the information. It's up to you what you do with it. But this could be true because not all conspiracies are true. Not all conspiracy theories are true. I've said this before, I'll say it again. But I do think they're going to go roundabout another way to get these people. They've got much more dirt on them than just that. And by the way, if all these victims should be adults by now, why aren't they naming people? Dinesh D'Souza said, why is Trump annoyed? Because he knows he was the ultimate target and yet some of his own supporters seem to have forgotten that. They think they're MAGA and Trump owes them because they made him. But isn't it more accurate to say he made them? Give the man some respect. I'm waiting. That's what I'm doing. Because I think from that site that we used to look at, which people think is a hoax, oh my God. Yeah, I'll verify twice, mate. You bloody idiots. Ignore and proceed. This site here. And if anyone cared to look, you can go and look at this. And it should explain a lot. It even said in here that he wasn't the biggest fish. Okay? Wales psychiatrist said PSA for everyone who's still living under the delusion. The hoax isn't that Jeffrey Epstein was a horrible criminal. That's why President Trump already had him and his co-trafficker prosecuted and put in prison. The hoax is that the giant internet conspiracy theory of him having a magical tell-all list and videos of powerful people that he was blackmailing turns out not to exist. If anything like it ever did exist, it was destroyed a long time ago. He just had his DOJ spend 5 months digging up hidden documents and files from all over the country and reinvestigating all this for you ungrateful people. Oh, okay. He can't find something that isn't there and he can't charge people with crimes with no evidence just because you want blood. He has 3.5 years left to fix everything that's been broken. The DOJ is still staffed with people intent on sabotaging him, and some of you are losing your minds at him over something he cannot give you because he doesn't have. He has DOJ Bondi has already arrested hundreds of pedos and rescued hundreds of children. You think that Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino and President Trump took office, then all suddenly decide to run cover for pedos? You are deranged. Your constant demands that he continue chasing ghosts with the limited time and resources he has literally puts actual living child victims on the back burner. No wonder he's frustrated. I am too. This is turning into the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, and it's just the same Trump thing that Trump has already said. Baron Trump fan account, not to be confused with actually Baron Trump. The first arrest will shock the world, not because of who it is, but because of what it reveals. The dominoes don't fall in silence. They fall with echoes that reshape the entire timeline. Stay focused. Stay calm. That's a big one. Stay calm. Don't let the emotions get the better of you. We were told this moment would come. And we were. If you go and look at this site. You'll get what's happening. Like, honestly, I don't understand that people won't look at it, just continue to think, oh, yeah, it's a psyop, so don't bother. That's what they want you to think. But anyway, hey. Joe Lang said, if you can't clearly see the signal in this new Trump post on Epstein, then you're following the wrong influences. I want you to read this carefully. Ask yourself, why is Trump goading everyone to focus on Epstein? Why does he keep bringing it up instead of moving on? Because Epstein's alive and he's going to turn witness. This is why why is Trump purposely throwing gasoline on the fire? And it's Trump's post again, right? How many times has Trump used this playbook? Can you see the signal? Why is it important for Trump to distance himself from an Epstein investigation? Optics are really important in convictions. The Democrats in Congress and their allies like Massey are calling on a full release of all Epstein files. Trump is encouraging them. He's also encouraging the big influencers to keep attacking him and his DOJ for not releasing the files. Why? Because big influencers can't see the big picture, and Trump is showing the American people who to trust, which you can also find here. The bigger picture. Trump is using them to bring attention to something right before the boomerang. He literally spelled out what he's doing by giving you previous examples of the same strategy. The Steele dossier, Hunter's laptop, Russia, Russia, Russia. Trump knew all of that would be exposed in time. Right now, Trump is willingly taking all the slings and arrows from the Democrats and big social media influencers for a reason. He's using them to help educate the majority of American people who still know nothing about the details of the Epstein conspiracy. Why isn't Trump worried about losing his support over Epstein? Because he already knows what's coming. This is a big signal of that table being set. And this one from Clandestine. Trump is very clearly trying to tell us that this Epstein obsession is a trap. Trump is saying we should be focused on things like the auto pen and his accomplishments, but the influencer crowd have been psyoped into having tunnel vision on Epstein. It's all they care about. No matter what Trump accomplishes now, the morons will say, what about Epstein? Even after Trump brings an end to the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, they'll still only care about Epstein. Trump is trying to tell us the enemy wants us distracted on Epstein because there's less coverage on Trump stopping wars around the globe, fixing the economy, securing the border, deporting criminals, purging government agencies, etc. Instead, all the coverage is nonsense claiming Trump and his administration are engaged in a cover-up, that Trump is protecting elite pedos, that Bondi, Cash, Bongino should be fired, and Trump should be impeached. This is exactly what the enemy wants. It's a massive smear campaign and psychological operation, which all stems from anonymous leaks by known nefarious deep state assets, Axios, combined with the gullible clickbait influencers, and social media manipulation. The enemy is fighting back. I've been trying to tell you all exactly this the entire time. This Epstein hysteria is being fueled by nefarious entities trying to hurt Trump, and as Trump says himself, many of you have bought into this bullshit, hook, line and sinker. Trump is not saying the Epstein operation is a hoax. He's saying the current unhinged obsession with Epstein is the hoax, and it's designed to distract you, to rouse Trump's support and sow doubt within our ranks. And I tip my hat to the enemy because it's working. So many took the cheese. So many have allowed their emotions to be manipulated. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to put your emotions on the back burner. You've got to wait. You've got to sit. Hey, Ruff, how you doing? Sybil, how you doing? Good to see you guys. Dolores, how you going? Okay, Alexandra Marshall said, I was born to a generation that could buy things once and keep them. I thought this was a really good point, actually. A CD, a movie, a piece of software. You were given a physical thing with a set price that you controlled. Now everything's a subscription. More expensive over time, taken off you for violating terms and services, permanently connected to the update matrix, easily lost with no compensation, cannot pass it down to anyone. This type of modernity is exploitation under the excuse of convenience. And I agree with this. Remember when you used to buy a CD or a movie or a piece of software? Yeah, now you hire them. Everything is for rent. Then you've got to pay for updates on some of them. You never truly own anything anymore, do you? Isn't that funny, including land? Mick Amias said, I just watched a report in where women have been told by Victoria police officers on the beat that they should carry a mini deodorant can to protect themselves, as pepper spray is illegal in a majority of Australian states. Insanity that it's come to this, no mention into the cause, of course. Yeah. Now, carry a bottle of deodorant with you. to spray in people's eyes because they won't let you have pepper spray. You know what? I used to do this when me and my friend, we used to carry an Impulse. Do you know what that is? The Impulse deodorant? It's not really deodorant. It's a spray, a perfume spray. We used to carry that around when we were like 12, 13. Just in case. Okay, I need to sip of my tea. Okay. Into thin air said breaking major earthquake and tsunami warning for Alaska, 7.2 to 7.6, depth unknown. Info still coming out and may change. This is huge. Okay. 87 kilometres south of Sandpoint, Alaska. That was 2 hours ago now. I don't know how it's going, but yeah, I did bookmark that one. I tried to turn it off, Shannon, and as far as I know, I turned it off, but no, apparently I didn't. The top fans. I went into YouTube, into settings, into privacy, turned it off during live streams, but no. Okay, so we don't have control. Charlie Kirk said breaking, John Solomon previews his interview with President Trump, says Trump told him that he supports a deep state special prosecutor, which will include an investigation into Epstein. Bannon, you did inform him that they're thinking about appointing a special counsel on this to take over this entire investigation. Solomon said, yeah, and he said, I think it's a good approach. Let's just do it. Let's get the trust of the American people, let's get accountability, and then let's focus on the things that matter. Bannon said, so he's on board with the situation of getting a special prosecutor and having the Epstein situation put into that so it can be formally looked at. Solomon said he immediately volunteers it, and then I follow up on it. But he immediately brings up Epstein, like, just throw that into it. Let's get it all answered. I've got nothing to hide. I want truth. I want prosecutions. And I want the justice system to take care of what needs to be taken care of. It was really a remarkable moment. So there you go. He's not beyond looking into Epstein. And I do think he's alive and he's being held for a witness. To more serious crime, to the people who actually do things like that, possibly. DOQ said, good morning, Patriots. I'm backing DJT till the end. We've seen this before. We know how he operates. I'm not leaving. Put a 1 in the chat if you're still behind Trump. Please, guys. I am. I'm still backing him all the way. Because I know what I know, because I read this when it all came out. Can't tell the people, you have to show them. 4,966 posts here. Okay? If you get onto this website, you just have to click this little arrow and you go back to the beginning. And you read, and you read, and you read, and you search, and you read. And that's what I did for 4 years with other people. Listening to other people, and that's why I think I know what I know. Okay. So I'm behind Trump all the way. I wish we had Trump in Australia as a Prime Minister, God help me. A few still following, good on you guys. How you going, Menacing Muskrat? Barron Trump fan account again, not the real one. Said they're twisting Trump's words again. He never said the Epstein files shouldn't be released. He said the non-stop fake outrage is boring and being weaponised by bad actors, and he's right. The same people who covered it up for years suddenly care? Give us a break. Trump wants the truth, but without the circus. MAGA demands full exposure and justice. Don't fall for the trap. Because you got to really question when mainstream media are going after something, you know? You've really got to think about that. Okay, and apparently the Schumann resonance has exploded. I wonder why. Everyone's got the shits. Everyone's cranky. Look at it. No one is sleeping. Nobody. After Trump said what he said, that it's a big nothing burger, nearly, or whatever, something to that effect. But there are other crimes involved here, so don't give up. I'm not giving up on Trump. But this is what happens when people get angry all of a sudden. Look at the Schumann resonance. It's just insane. Okay. Vincent Kennedy said people are easily distracted. Trump is the one keeping the Epstein stuff in the news cycle. But why? See, the more he mentions it and the more he downplays it, the more the left are going, release it, release it, release it, release it. Look, there's method in his madness. I don't care what anyone thinks of him. There is method in his madness. There really is. Okay, the mostly peaceful Latinas said mega influencers want to hold Trump accountable for the Epstein files, but it's really the influencers who pushed this story that should be held accountable by we the people. They seem to have proof of a list of clients, powerful people, attacking kids, blackmail, etc. Why can't they present it? They can request government records, Freedom of Information Act interview the victims, who are now middle-aged women, and ask them who they were sold to, etc. New media should be held to the same standard as the mainstream media. Plenty of MAGA influencers have profited from this story through their YouTube views, selling Epstein didn't kill himself merch and more. And look, even I was in believing the Epstein stuff, but I did always wonder in the back of my mind why the mainstream media were pushing it as well. Because I know that when you look at the mainstream media, you can pretty much look at turn it around and think the opposite, and you're closer to the truth. That's how bad mainstream media is. I've known this since 2008. I really wanted to throw my TV out the window, but I thought I'd cost myself a lot of money doing that because it was going to go through the window, not out the window. Okay, Luke Radowski, who's one of the ones who's going at Trump. I think Epstein's still out there. No, you don't say. Sorry, I had to say that. This photo was taken by a rogue drone operator on Epstein Island after he committed suicide. This is why I think he's being held. State witness, or he was back on his island that time. Maybe. He's not even in jail. Maybe. There's a lot of questions. We need answers. That's all we need. If it's a nothing burger, we need to know. That's what I think Trump is doing. DOQ said we're about to witness the most booming economy the world has ever seen. Go America. Go you guys. Lead the way. And let the rest of the world see how stupid they are, especially Australia. Sorry. Okay. You blame the lead paint you were getting into as a kid? Yeah, I was licking the lead paint off the walls, Deb. I mean, seriously, that's why they said they got rid of lead paint. No, that's because the EMFs can't travel through the lead paint. When you go in for an X-ray, okay, this is all for Wi-Fi and shit and Google Earth and spying on people through their houses. They can actually see into your house. Heat signatures and stuff, apparently. The lead paint would have stopped that. Okay, that's what I believe. That's just me. I've got my own conspiracy theories. Oh, dear. Mag1775 said when I voted for Trump, it wasn't for the damn Epstein files. It was to save our republic from going full-blown communist, which would have happened if that word salad puppet Kamala had gotten in. And I guarantee every real America First patriot voted the same way. You voted to change the course. Okay? That's what you voted for. We still want the truth, but you voted to change the course of America. For God's sake, you didn't want to end up like Australia. Kamala would have had your guns taken away by now. Kamala and the rest of the Democrats. Morgan Cox said, hear me out, 1-to-1 exchange program between the USA and Australia. Oh, I've said this before. Freedom haters can come here and be welcome to socialist utopia, and Australians who are being destroyed by our government can go to the US where hard work, ingenuity and freedom still exist. Thoughts? I've thought this before. Send all your lefties to Australia and all us right-leaning will go to America and we'll help America succeed and the lefty can ruin Australia. The only thing I don't like about it is that I love Australia, the country. It's a beautiful country. You do not want the left destroying it. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'd love to go to America, but I want this country to be okay as well. Bit of a pickle there, isn't there? Cynical publicist said, okay, for the immediate future, this is my last word on the Epstein matter. My anger is aimed at the people who repeat rage bait humour, and everyone's doing the rage bait at the moment. You got Tim Pool doing it, you got Benny Johnson doing it, you got everyone doing it. My anger is aimed at the people who repeat rage bait humour and innuendo as if it were fact. So many of the arguments I've heard treat assumption as fact. This is wrong. This issue has the potential to destroy and unwind everything we've achieved since 2016. Don't you see that? Don't you see that that is the reason why the Democrat media complex has glommed onto this issue suddenly? Everything's at stake. And when everything's at stake, you damn well better be logically talking about known facts and not repeating lynch mob style rumours you heard as if they were fact. Do you remember the Salem witch trials? Do you remember? That's kind of what we got happening now in a different way. That is my beef. And don't try and cover up your malfeasance by saying, I just want justice for the kids. Good intentions are not an excuse for bad actions. And it's also like accusing someone who's not a pedo of being a pedo. That's the thinking of purple-haired Democrat Karens, emotion over reason. Is that who you want to be? I'm not saying not to discuss the issue. I'm saying to discuss it within the bounds of reality. It's too important an issue not to. Out. There you go. Okay. Vincent Kennedy said, what do you think this really was? Robert Fresquez said, do you have one? In my generation, we all shared the same scar. Who else has got it? I got one. They said I had to get it to come to Australia. How many of us have this scar on our arms? There's a really interesting response to this. Which one was it under, though? Oh, it's a warning label, a brand, a test site. It was for smallpox, apparently. Oh, this one. X-Files, Season 2, Episode 25. Anasazi. Smallpox vaccination scars you use as tracking markers, each person vaccinated being encoded with a number. Part of a secret government database to monitor and catalogue individuals, particularly those with potential alien DNA or other anomalies. Later episodes, The Blessing Way, Season 3, Episode 1, and Paperclip, Season 3, Episode 2, further explore the use of smallpox scars as part of the syndicate's tracking system. This storyline connects to Project Purity and the Black Oil Alien Virus storyline. So I just thought that was interesting. Not that I'm saying it's real, but they always put little bits of truth in there, and I'm wondering if they were actually tracking markers. You know how they put truth in movies and stuff sometimes? Yeah. Like they do in South Park, you know? Banks said, how the fuck did a generation raised on South Park and Family Guy become so offended by everything? Yeah, I'd like to know too. I'd like to know too. How the fuck did a generation raised on South Park and Family Guy become so offended? Okay, nothing to see here, said it's almost like Trump only wants Anons to support him going into the next phase. Interesting point. Only Anons are capable of demanding the Epstein D-class justice without flipping on Trump and calling him a Mossad-simbing Zionist pedo sympathiser. We are not the same. There you go. Because we read this. We took 4 years to go over it, okay? So people saying this, it's that. Oh, that's what the mainstream media said. You're taking the mainstream media side, which is also the deep state side, in believing them. DOQ said so many things are converging into the timeline. Timing is everything. Is making a ton of sense, in my opinion, which was also from here. Timing is everything. How many 24 posts? Maybe I should put the whole thing. Is... Okay. Several days. What if this was always the plan? Justice K. Timing is everything. Why deploy vested powers of the Office of the President under verifiable matters of national security when you can instead unveil America's true enemy? Public awakening. You didn't think we highlighted Epstein for no good reason, did you? Those who were once protected are no longer. Timing is everything. This is directly related to Epstein. Timing is everything. Hunter's become prey. I think he's alive, and I think he's turned witness. Benny Johnson said big for the second time today. Trump ordered the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files. Anything credible, release it. I say release it. Give it to them. There you go. So he's not hiding it. He's just saying there's nothing there. And well, I guess when it is released, we'll find out. Joe Lang said all the people trying their best to get people to turn on Trump will fail again. Epstein's just the doorway. Epstein is the doorway to a much larger child trafficking operation involving intelligence agencies, modelling agencies, politicians, the media, the Rothschilds and more. Rachel Chandler is the key that opens the door to all the prosecutions and justice that we're all waiting for. Many people have forgotten how important she is in this criminal conspiracy. Maybe they forgot that she's talking. Do you want to know why Trump just put Adam Schiff for brains in the spotlight? Have you ever looked into Schiff's involvement in the Standard Hotel in California? The drop number 3,158, which was on March 20th, 2019, said the Standard Hotel, Rachel Chandler. Adam Schiff isn't the only politician connected to the child trafficking. Many in our government are. Ray Chandler equals Alison Mack times 100. Alison Mack was the NXIVM cult, and she was the actress who was recruiting other women. Well, Rachel Chandler is 100 times worse than that. Alison Mack flipped and is giving evidence. Rachel Chandler is giving 100 times more evidence because she was at the centre of child trafficking and worse. Another drop. Keep digging, Anons. Rachel Chandler's the key. Here's a great article going through the connections, everything we know about Rachel Chandler and her ties to Jeffrey. In high fashion and elite circles, Rachel Chandler's name surfaces with an aura of mystery and controversy, especially when linked to the notorious Jeffrey Epstein. This connection, often dismissed by mainstream critics as mere conspiracy, demands a closer, more critical examination. Rachel Ray Chandler, a photographer and co-founder of the Midland Modelling Agency, is known for her avant-garde approach to casting in the fashion industry, where all her models look very depressed. However, it's her alleged connections to Epstein in the dark world of elite networking that draws intense scrutiny. Chandler's involvement extended to MC2 Model Management, founded by Jean-Luc Brunel, who himself was implicated as an Epstein co-conspirator and later met a mysterious end, similar to Epstein's, death in a prison cell ruled as suicide. The intersection of these controversies with Chandler's alleged connections to sex trafficking ring casts a shadow over the fashion industry's practices and the hidden dynamics within. Chandler's own social media footprint has created further suspicion. Images on her accounts and her agency public profiles, which use young individuals to create disturbing imagery that seems indicative of abuse and exploitation. Her Instagram and Tumblr showcase deeply troubling images, children depicted in acts of a satanic ritual, bloodied and seemingly tortured figures, and mannequins dressed in black robes typical of satanic garb. Some allege she was involved in trafficking children for Jeffrey Epstein, a known associate of Hillary and Bill Clinton. These claims gain a disturbing dimension with the assertion that the models represented by her agency, many of who appeared on Midland's Instagram page, looked abused and resembled trafficking victims more than models. This is an important article to understand why Trump is purposely downplaying Epstein as a hoax. The real investigation to bring down the major players in child trafficking is centred around Rachel Chandler, not Epstein. Rachel Chandler started out as a 15-year-old victim on Epstein Island, allegedly. She unlocks all the closed doors to justice. Another drop, Chandler, child handler. These people are sick. If the records become unsealed, much will be revealed. Watch the news for Rachel Chandler. It's no coincidence that Trump is enraging people in order to focus everyone's attention on Epstein and now Adam Schiff. You have to lead normies into what Rachel Chandler was and at the centre of it, and not just sex trafficking. We're at war with a deeply embedded evil that most Americans will be unwilling to accept. So it makes a whole lot of sense when you start to realise that there are worse people out there. Okay, the opinionated black woman auntie said, fuck off, we're full. Oz Integrity said, Australia, this is what's being advertised on TikTok overseas. These are agents across India, Pakistan, and the Middle East pumping out these videos. The agents then choose the shortest entry path. Meanwhile, your Labor government subsidises these companies and provides visas for these people. Watch this. Bullshit.
Australia is ready to pay you $800,000 if you move to one of its stunning countryside villages. You'll also get $4,000 a month to cover your living costs. Food and housing? No worries. Families with kids receive an extra $5,400 per year to help with school and housing. Jobs in these towns offer double pay and housing support. Want to start your own business? The government provides free access to unused buildings, plus local resources to get you started, totally free. All you have to do is pack your bags, pick a peaceful village, and promise to stay for 3 years. This is part of Australia's Rural Revival Plan. In the past 2 years, these towns have seen a huge population drop. Now they're inviting people back. You'll live in a cozy home, wake up to gorgeous views and fresh air. No city noise, no traffic, just calm, quiet, and room to breathe. Plant your own veggies, go fishing at dusk, or gather around a fire with neighbors and a drink. All it takes is a little courage. Apply now and start a brand new life. Drop the word village in the comments and tag a friend you'd bring along for the ride.
And they're inviting these people to Australia. I don't even live like that, you freaking morons. And neither does any working Australian that I know. I mean, look how they're promoting our country, but it's a shithole. Like, it is beautiful, but it's a beautiful shithole right now, right? Anyway, Wall Street Ape said, huge, this is the end of the Democrat Party. Marjorie Taylor Greene's new bill will not only have the census only count US citizens, but it'll also redraw districts, including illegals, and require proof of citizenship for voting nationwide. Democrats to lose 27 seats in Congress based on projections. We've had decades, and especially the past 4 years, of our country basically being invaded with tens of millions of people from all over the world. Americans don't feel like they're represented in Washington. So I have a bill that calls for a new census. It does count the population. However, it has a second count, and that's counting American citizens only. The second part of the bill calls for a new reapportionment. So district lines would be drawn based on the count of American citizens only, because that's how Democrats get more seats. If they import enough people, it becomes another district. And so they have another politician for that district. And it goes on and on. That way, American citizens are represented here in Washington, D.C. And then the third thing my bill calls for is when anyone goes to vote in a federal election, they're required to show proof of citizenship when they show up to vote. And this will drastically change our elections. You'll see states like California lose electoral college votes. You'll see states like California lose House seats, as well as New York and other sanctuary states like Illinois. Now, remember they said watch New York and watch California. Okay? Keep watching. Okay, fan Donald J. Trump post from Truth Social. Okay, commentary account, okay, not the real Donald Trump, but this is what he apparently did say on Truth Social. I've been speaking to Coca-Cola about using real cane sugar in Coke in the United States, and they've agreed to do so. I'd like to thank all of them, all of those in authority at Coca-Cola. This will be a very good move by them. You'll see, it's just better. And look, we have had sugarcane here in Australia. Well, at least I think we're using sugarcane. And do you use sugar beets or something over in America? I know you use a lot of corn syrup, which is not good for you either. But I'm wondering, is cane sugar all right? Not too much, of course, but if you ate cane sugar instead of other sugars or sweeteners, I don't know. Okay, anyway. Red Pill Drifter said you all aren't listening, are you? Pay attention. He's saying the fake documents left behind by the corrupt FBI, Hillary, Obama, planted, created files is what the MSM wants to keep going. Then at the end he clearly says, release the credible information. He's telling you. Okay, let's have a listen. I want to hear him.
I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think, well, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
Okay, so there you go. Alpha Warrior said Epstein files were compromised to frame the innocent, protect the guilty, but Trump already knew. Trump card. Read carefully, you're not just watching a cover-up, you're watching a counter-coup. The deep state cabal spanning the Clinton, Obama and Biden regimes knew exactly what was coming if Trump became president again. They knew President Trump was coming back in 2024. They couldn't rig the election again. They knew the Epstein files would be released under his second term. And they knew the moment that happened, the global house of cards would collapse. Child trafficking, blackmail, intelligence operations, the entire infrastructure behind the New World Order, gone. So they did what snakes do when cornered. They took a corrupted Epstein investigation and rewrote it. They destroyed original evidence. They planted new evidence to frame President Trump and other white hats. They weaponized the narrative in advance. So when Trump returned, the evidence would show he was guilty. Not the real predators like Podesta, Clinton, Schiff, Schumer, and Obama. But what they didn't expect was Trump already knew that. He knew the investigation was tainted. He knew the files were compromised. He knew the deep state had an endgame strategy to flip the narrative against him. So he played his trump card. Epstein didn't kill himself. He was placed into witness protection under 18 U.S. Code SS 3521. That's not a theory. That's a strategic application of federal law. Trump secured Epstein, flipped him as an informant, moved him into witness protection to preserve the truth. Why? Because Trump didn't need the corrupted evidence. He needed the source. Epstein is the primary witness to the largest RICO investigation ever launched in US history. A sting operation that will dismantle elite trafficking networks, compromised intelligence agencies, globalist money laundering channels, fake NGOs and human rights fronts, high-value political operatives from both parties. And now the enemy is panicking. Enter Ghislaine Maxwell, a deep state asset activated to run interference, the insurance policy. She's now demanding a deal to testify in front of Congress. Why now? Because they know Epstein flipped and they know he's not dead. They know the real investigation is closing in, so they sent Ghislaine to corrupt the narrative again, apply pressure to inflame a psyop narrative, to implicate Trump and protect the guilty. But notice who she never names, not Podesta, not Hillary, not Schumer, not Adam Schiff, because she's working for them. Remember President Trump and Matt Gaetz said they had a secret weapon in Congress and Congress knows it? That's why they're pausing the release. That's why Trump calls this the Russia hoax all over again. Because this is their Hail Mary. They're trying to burn the movement with a final desperate lie. But the trap's already been set, the fake investigation will be exposed, the real one will be revealed, and the RICO takedown will be clean. The psychological battlefield, fake MAGA assets are the real threat. Now pay attention. The deep state knows they can't stop Trump legally, so they're turning to perception warfare. They've deployed infiltrators posing as concerned patriots, truth seekers, or Trump skeptics. Their mission to sow doubt about Trump's motives, to weaponise the Epstein narrative against him, to turn his base against him before the real drop lands. These are not real influencers, they're controlled assets, intelligence link accounts or grifting opportunists. Ask yourself, did they ever amplify Trump's wins? Did they ever highlight his record on his trafficking takedowns? Did they ever defend the movement? Or do they only ever attack or sow doubt? They use virtue signalling and selective outrage. They pretend to be red-pilled, but they're just useful idiots, or worse, intentional operatives. Final warning. The cover-up is what gets them caught. The compromised evidence was the setup. The fake Epstein suicide was the misdirect. The activation of Ghislaine is the desperation. And the white hat counter RICO is the real plan. The trump card's already on the table. The greatest sting in modern history is unfolding, and you're being told exactly what's happening if you have the eyes to see it. Nothing can stop what's coming. Trump isn't just exposing them, he's dismantling them piece by piece. And when the real Epstein evidence drops, it won't be a document, it'll be a testimony. And that is from... Who is this? Someone was telling me about these guys yesterday. Hang on a sec. Let me just turn the volume down. And we can have a little listen. I won't play the whole thing or maybe, I don't know.
Good afternoon, family. July 15th, 2025. Out of Make Sure. We're going to go on part 3 of this Epstein, Trump, what's going on debacle. Before we do, shout out. New episode airing tonight, but it's not going to be on the Alpha Warrior Show. You got to find Badlands Media on Rumble. Badlands Media. Okay,
Badlands Media on Rumble, guys. Okay, that's where this is. Someone was telling me about it yesterday.
Me and my co-host, Josh Reed. You saw us do a sneak premiere a few weeks ago. You guys loved it. I think it was like 50,000 people that watched that thing. Well, tonight is episode 1, and you're definitely going to want to tune in. So again, Badlands Media on Rumble, and you'll find us both there. So let's get into this Epstein part 3. You're going to want to watch this twice. You're probably going to want to read the thread that I'm going to post on X for this, at X, Alpha Warrior X. You have people coming out right now like Kevin Spacey and others asking for the release of the Epstein files. Now, if you're anyone that's been in this movement, digging, a digital soldier, an Anon, one of my frog people, Keck, if you know anything, a lot of the people asking for the release were people that were allegedly implicated if you saw some of the Isaac Cappy videos and some of the other things that are out there. Hashtag pizza something else. You know what I'm talking about. Someone go open the gate. You'll figure it out.
Yep.
Why are all these people all of a sudden making a request for these files to be released? And then it dawned on me. If you add what Trump said a few days ago and then double down on today, he said this is something they created. It's like the Russia hoax. Now,
hang on just 1 second, guys. I'm sorry, but I may have to try and read this, which is sad for all of us, really. Because of the music in the background. Because the other day, one of my Epstein videos got taken down, wasn't allowed to be shown in countries because I put one of the mainstream things in there, and I'm worried about them doing the same here. So I'm going to try and read it. All of us now, the people that have the real MAGA supporters, the real Trump supporters, the real people that are about America, know that we're never going to abandon the conversation to have these people... Jesus, I'm not quick enough. To have these people brought to justice, to protect the kids, we understand that. So aside from bringing this up and reigniting the conversation and getting people from the left to acknowledge it, which I think was just phenomenal, that is 45D chess? 45. Okay? 45D chess now. We're going way beyond 4D chess. Oh, my goodness. Okay, hang on. Okay. But the thing is that when you see these other people that we know are implicated in this, or at least allegedly, we speculate. I'm trying to get this to... what is it? I'm trying to get this something to survive on other... I'm trying to get this to survive on other platforms when they're asking for it. Then it clicked. They knew that the way they weren't... Hang on. They knew they weren't able to steal the 2016 election, okay? that they were not, there was a strong likelihood they weren't going to be able to steal it, 2024. So they knew chances were Trump was coming back and he was going to be coming back, and I just read most of that. I think that's pretty much it there, what he said. Okay? But if you need to, Alex has put the link. No, Menacing Muskrat did, sorry. Good on you, Menacing Muskrat. Has put the link for Badlands on Rumble, Badlands Media. Okay? If you want to know more, please go and watch it. I'm a bit worried about getting copyright here. If I was on Rumble, I'd do it. I should just go to Rumble, freaking YouTube. DK said, don't ask how I know, just listen up. Something big's coming down the tracks. John Solomon didn't just speculate, he confirmed it. The DOJ and FBI have been quietly building a massive criminal conspiracy case against the deep state. It covers the full window from 2016 to 2024, targeting the sabotage of Trump from the very beginning. Pam Bondi may be days away from naming a special prosecutor that would allow indictments to be brought outside DC. Florida's in play. That changes the jury pool and the battlefield. Here's the part nobody in the media wants to touch. The Epstein network is reportedly connected to this case, not just for the island crimes, but because people linked to Epstein allegedly used blackmail and leverage to help drive the lawfare against Trump. Some of those names are powerful and still active. If Trump drops the full list now, it could cause chaos and derail the entire case. That's why he's holding it. Not to protect the guilty, but to protect the investigation. And here's the twist. Matt Gaetz flew into DC this weekend, reportedly at Trump's personal request, even though Matt Gaetz said he did not. He skipped a major turning point event, instead took a private meeting with the president. Some insiders say Gaetz may be under consideration as a special prosecutor. That would be a lightning strike. Trump, Bondi and Gaetz are all playing roles behind the scenes. If this flips, it won't just be payback, it'll be exposure on a historic level. And Gaetz could have just said he wasn't going to see Trump at the time, or he wasn't requested, sorry. Okay? It could actually be. Watch the next 14 to 21 days. If a special prosecutor is named and the indictments move to Florida, you'll know this is the real deal. They tried to destroy Trump with hoaxes, lawfare and lies. Now the trap they set is springing on them. Drain the swamp isn't just a phrase. It's happening. In case of emergency, break the glass. And release Gaetz. Okay. Insurrection Barbie said, once you realise what emotional manipulation is, you cannot miss it. I don't allow myself to be emotionally manipulated because I don't want to live in a constant state of anger. No matter what, the world will not end and the sun will still rise and God is always good. And if that's your baseline, you're already much harder to manipulate. Okay, we've got Spain. I don't know, something going on. Peter Sweden said, here's the situation in Spain. Several pensioners were attacked and beaten. Large groups of foreigners have been attacking people on the streets. Spanish people have gathered to stop the attacks. The media calls them far right. Independent journalists were banned and kicked out from reporting on the ground. Locals have now refused to talk to mainstream media. That's how they do it. And they'll frame anyone standing up for themselves as far right. Julian's Rum said, regardless of what Trump says, the net effect is everyone now wants to see the Epstein files. And it's going to go much bigger and much deeper than that. Oh. Insurrection Barbie said, assign a special prosecutor. I think that's a good idea. I cannot wait to see Democrats go into complete meltdown as soon as Trump does it. Win-win. Takes it out of Bondi's hands and lets her focus on the lefty lawfare. We'll silence people who are using this to play politics and maybe we'll get some answers someday. Cynthia Holt said, do you think that CU in the NT, James Comey and the rest of the criminal deep state just left the Epstein files so Trump could have them to use against them? You're a special kind of stupid. He'll release what he can, but most of it's likely corrupted and missing. Think before you rage. Rod D. Martin said, breaking, Trump just cut off $40 billion in benefits to illegal immigrants. That ends now, the White House says. 15 federal programs gone, 1.4 million illegals out. This is the most aggressive move against welfare fraud in decades. Here's what just happened. Trump White House just announced the new rules banning illegal immigrants from 15-plus federal benefit programs. Programs that cost $40 billion a year. No more gaming the system, no more cutting in line, no more stealing from American taxpayers. White House spokesperson Taylor Rogers didn't hold back. Illegals will no longer be able to steal public benefits at the expense of hardworking American taxpayers. That ends now. What's being cut off? Head Start, Medicaid abuse, substance abuse treatment, family planning grants, education aid, USDA food programs, labour training funds and DOJ legal support. Why would people not come here illegally if we give them free stuff? Like you just saw in Australia, the ad for Australia. We need Trump, seriously. The move is part of Trump's signature one big beautiful bill package, spending cuts, tax reform and Medicaid reform. And now the largest crackdown ever on illegals receiving taxpayer-funded benefits. And yes, Trump is protecting Medicaid, but only for those who deserve it. Pregnant women, children, disabled Americans and truly needy. Able-bodied adults must now work or volunteer 20 hours a week. Common sense is back. Think it's just about saving money? No, this is about putting Americans first. Citizens who play by the rules, taxpayers who foot the bill, families getting priced out by illegals and fraud. Trump is restoring fairness and dignity to government programs. Heritage, Cato, even centrists agree. These are common sense reforms. Medicaid has run on autopilot for too long. Taxpayers have the right to expect accountability, and Trump is finally delivering it. And if you like this, you can follow Rod D. Martin on X. Okay. Brian Cates, political columnist and pundit, said the first thing you learn about the Epstein case when you dive into it, massive amounts of civil litigation where NDAs were signed. Pay attention to what I'm just about to tell you. The vast majority of victims do not want to go public. Most people only think about NDAs going one way. Victims signs it to get a judgment, but it goes the other way too. To ensure their identities remain hidden for all time and never become public, the court agrees the victim can never be identified, and any later criminal investigation that breaches this agreement and leads to a victim being publicly identified is a breach of the legal contract. This means any forthcoming unsealed indictments in the Epstein case have to be doubly careful. They include absolutely no identifiers that could be used by anyone to track down a particular abuse victim. I've said many times any kind of client list release will instantly become a target list, and you could fully expect many, many people out there to be viciously irresponsible with it. Dropping a client list on the public before the DOJ is finished going through it all, now with the additional headache of figuring out what is real and what was later injected into the evidence by Comey, McCabe, people still in the FBI until recently, would be the height of irresponsibility. But if people aren't willing to understand that and want to jump ship and abandon Trump, MAGA, AF over an Epstein tantrum, they could be my guest. This is literally what Trump is telling you in this post. He's not falling into the deep state Epstein trap. He's busting through it at full speed. And it's the same one I read before. Cynical Publius said, you are in charge of the US government. You have a list of names. The list is of uncertain provenance and may in fact be a fabrication created by your enemies. The list suggests that certain influential Americans and international world leaders were engaged in the most heinous crimes imaginable. However, despite the existence of the list, there is zero evidence to support any grand jury indictments. You are a rational, logical person and are not controlled by emotion. Hundreds of rabid paid influencers on X are demanding the public release of the list. Publicly releasing the list will wreck the reputations of many powerful people without any evidence of crimes and leave open the spectre of substantial defamation claims. What do you do? Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the deep state put anyone who is right-wing in that list to try and get rid of their competition completely. Okay, I've got a cough. Hang on a sec, guys. Okay, and this was yesterday, last night. Something is happening. Secret Service has locked down the White House's front lawn. The press has also been moved to the briefing room. I don't know. It might be something, it might be nothing. Okay? And I've read that one, which is disgusting. So there you go. That'll be the news for today. Now we'll go on to the chat. Yeah, I know Out to Lunch did mention the earthquake. I already had it in there, but I don't know much else about it. Oh, the other thing I was going to look up. Let's go the earthquake first. Oh, that's not how you spell earthquake. Yep, there you go. Earthquake, trending. It's rattling Alaska earthquake 1 hour ago. Okay, there's a few of them. 7.2, 7.3s. There's been a few. Water levels have dropped significantly in the last 30 minutes near Raspberry Island, Alaska, following the M72 earthquake. This could be a sign of an incoming tsunami. Yes, when the seas go out, go the other way. That was 3 hours ago. Have we got any, most updated? Most recent? Tsunami warning underway from Kodiak for deep water until the all clear is sounded from NWS National Tsunami Warning Centre. A tsunami's been confirmed and impacts are expected. Okay. When was this? 51 minutes ago. Be careful if you're in Alaska, guys. 1 hour ago, no tsunami's been observed. When was this? 1 hour ago as well. A tsunami's been confirmed? I don't know. Apparently, seismic activity worldwide. Okay. Have we got anything more recent? Okay, can't find anything. Really? The Alaska tsunami warning's been cancelled. Tsunami was only 0.2 feet at Sandpoint, Alaska. Okay? Don't know who Tim is, Dragon Boy here, but, he's reporting on it anyway. Okay. The other thing I wanted to look up was Rachel Chandler. Whoop. Forget the T on the end. This is Ray Chandler, who was caught with Diddy and all that. I want to find the modelling agency. Yeah, Rachel Chandler is the character from the TV show Friends, remember? Rachel Chandler. She was the one who dropped the Epstein Island footage. Allegedly, Epstein Island. Hang on. Maybe if I put in Midland Modelling Agency, it might come up. I'll just leave Midland Modelling, actually, and look at that way. Ray Chandler took a phone in Epstein Island, feeds the NSA, the flood of information's coming, had to be this way, military is the only way. Oh, this is Nathaniel Rothschild with Rachel Chandler. What's this one? Does Rachel Chandler connect directly to the Crown? In 2006, Prince Philip was put in charge of the royal estate when he married the Queen, who discovered he was sitting in a potential black diamond mine and decided to create his own organic truffle orchard. Why has she got truffle tattooed there? They were the pictures, but you can't really... even if I try and make them big, you're not going to see much of them. Unfortunately. These are the models and they look so freaking depressed. Then there's satanic stuff with the children tied up. The red shoes. I'm trying to find the modelling bit. Go back. Okay, I don't know. There used to be, you could look it up on here. Where is it? Is this the same one or is this different now? Midland Agency. Okay, well, let's have a look at Midland Agency and see what happens here. Oh, it says by Rachel Chandler. Okay. Let's go to casting. Not found. Photography. Okay, this doesn't look the same as it used to look. Oh, some of these do. Yeah, it doesn't look the same as it used to, though. What's this girl doing in a bathtub? Come on. Yeah, it doesn't look like it used to. Let me put it that way. Oh, here we go. Just had to click the middle picture. Yeah, no, I don't think many of these people, none of them really look happy. But I don't think that's, I don't know. There's Rachel Chandler's name down there. Walter Pierce and Rachel Chandler. But they used to advertise, like, they advertise people on here, okay? That's what I'm getting at. And it was worse a few years ago. You could really see that they were not, that the models were not actually really happy. They looked abused. Some of them had marks on them. There's her and Eminem. Okay. Pretty much most of it is like catching the cameras at Epstein Island, apparently. She's a child handler anyway, that's what she is. So it's going to go deeper than Epstein. Yeah, Out to Lunch got in there first. Out to Lunch said, only because I need a life, lol. Dutch Sins predicted it. Oh, yes. He's good. Deb said, we're just looking forward to being together with great people. And Sherry popped in and Jason. And, yeah, Alex, thank you for that because I just looked it up. Oh, there we go. I knew it was going to jump sooner or later. Go back as far as I can. Hey, damn it, Mandy. How you doing? Menacing Muskrat, Tommy, Sherry. Shannon said, Epstein just a honey trap like the Playboy Mansion, etc. Yeah, it could be. It could very well be. But the people who went there may be doing other nefarious stuff. Out to Lunch says, anyone heard of 25 people died in, I forgot, one city pretty much at the same time? No, haven't heard of that. Lady Stardust said one, this is a galactic plan. Yes, I agree. Alex said, I know that's awful for re-breaking it and people still setting off fireworks used to really pee me off as my dog Roxy was terrified of them and would shake in my arms. Out to lunch said probably fentanyl, you know. Alex said, I hope they stop setting them off soon, Sherry. Oh, they're setting off fireworks. Tommy said out to lunch, the children in the Texas floods. Apparently, I saw them children on a military, like a bus or a truck or something. Yeah, being driven out of there. The supposedly kidnapped children. I don't know. I don't know what happened, you know, but that's what I saw. So I don't know. Deb said, thank God I don't listen. I always have had a mind of my own. School couldn't teach me. I used to be sad at school, but now I know it's my superpower. Damn it, Mandy said, how you going? I finally made it while you're live. Good on you, damn it, Mandy. Good to see ya. Out to lunch said, no, up north. Everyone's saying hello. Shannon said, that just looks like a bad fishing spot on the sonar. Deb said, I still support Trump. Yeah, I noticed there was a lot of number ones in there. J1 said that Schumann resonance looks like the XRP chart, doesn't it? Yeah, that's going berserk at the moment. I went from behind to ahead. Menacing Muskrat said it's 5D chess and DS is losing D5. Damn it, man. He said, Tommy, are you going to stop in for the shit show tonight, lol? Where's the shit show happening, damn it, Mandy? Deb said, if you watch the news, you become a puppet. Alex said, same here, Deb. No one could tell me what to do when I was growing up, lol. I was allowed to learn and find out for myself with the support of my family if needed it. Deb said, I always blame the lead paint I was getting into as a kid. George said, I tried watching MSM News for the first time, had to turn it off. I can't do it. I will literally throw my television through the window. I won't even open the window. I want to throw my television through the window. It's that bad. Shannon said the lead paint was probably good. Alex said, I'm not too bad, been a tough couple of weeks, but I'm getting there. Hope you're well, damn it, Mandy. Shannon said the Jew weapons don't work as well. Through the lead paint? Very interesting. Damn it, Mandy said, George, I suggest a bottle of rum and apology to yourself. No one should suffer through news. I agree. Hang on a sec, guys. Okay, Shannon said, poor Alex needs some TLC. Del said, left waff in our countries are traitors. Yes, how you going, Del? Good to see ya. Alex said, I know what you mean. It's bloody horrible. MSM's full of shite and gaslighting propaganda, George. George said, does drinking a beer and smoking a joint count, Mandy? Shannon said, maybe some THC. Oh, God, love ya.
Shannon tipped $1. Testing the Crown FU YouTube.
God love you, Shannon. Thank you, you legend. Dolores said, I have the same theory on the lead paint. Also have a theory on why they replaced all the copper water pipes with plastic. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we all have plastics in our system now, don't we? Damn it, Mandy said, George, yes, as long as it is mass quantities, your mind didn't deserve that. Shannon said, yes, and what they are spraying into the atmosphere, they want us dumb, docile and dead, I believe so. The 3 Ds. George said, I'm working on it, Mandy. Everyone's saying hello and how are you? And Lady Stardust 7, I never had a smallpox vax. Sherry said, I don't have one. I missed school the day they were giving them. It's more for when you went overseas. It was like a 12 shots in one. Sherry's, Deb said that's how we know you're from another country, Hev. Yeah, exactly. That's how you can tell. Del said it's midnight. Tish here. Mandy, tips hat. Out to lunch said Hev's mixed. Deb said they changed it to 1 injection. Oh, great. After they scarred some of us for life. Yeah, George, the world's full of snowflakes. Alex said, my mum has a scar like that. Mine's more of a raised pink scar from the BCG jab that still hurts, as there's a massive dent underneath that never needed it. Oh, no. Damn it, man. He said, damn it, there's a massive spider on my mailbox. I don't need the mail that bad. Just go out there with I don't know, do you have fly swatters over there? I'd go out there with one of them and just swat it. Out to lunch said, I have no scar like that. Sybil said, Lloyd and Morissette is PBS Experimental Studies Program. Propaganda, sorry. Ruff said, every immigrant now takes a home from Australia. When he arrives, you don't see homeless immigrants. No, you don't. No, we don't have homeless immigrants in Australia. They house them. Fuck your own people, though. Damn it, man, he said, Del, thank you. For some reason, I thought you lived by Jerry. No, Jerry's in Australia, isn't he? Del's over in the UK, I believe. Shannon said, the old school web. Damn it, Mandy. Out to lunch said, they'll send more and that's their problem, Mandy. Alex said, thank you. It's always hard losing our beloved animals, but it's the price we pay for loving them so much. Yes, I know. God love you. Dolores said, propagandised by the school system is how it happened, and the push that you must have a uni diploma to get a job. Yeah, that too. Shannon said, only girls have that scar. Wasn't it rubella shot or something? No, it was for going overseas. It was a 12-in-1 shot at the time. George said, rough, same here in the UK. The illegal immigrants get put in 4-star hotels. Yep. Meanwhile, your public is, your people are homeless. Out to lunch said, says spiderweb on fire under the house and thought I was going to burn it down one day. Deb said, capitulated. Sherry said, I think he's alive and in Israel, in Witsec. Yep. Witness. Yep. Deb said, Massard. Hey, going, Zal. Sybil said, no, it's not just the child sex trafficking. They also support black market organ harvesting with state quotas. Yes, it goes deeper. It goes deeper than just trafficking. Okay? Okay. Everyone's saying hello, Zal. Sybil said federal judges are involved. Ruff said Epstein may be from Central Casting. I don't know. Sybil said Trump was set to fire them just before the release. The files psyop started. Shannon said, I remember at primary school everyone lined up to get an injection, a line going in and out and a line going out, and I think I stepped into the outline when they came close together, going through the door, lol. Deb said it's probably been going on far longer than anyone really knows. Sybil said them, a.k.a. federal judges installed by Obama, are of a particular interest. I'd say so. Sal said everything's a psyop. Alex said, I just realised it turns 17th of July. That date's on the calendar app. I'm not sure what it means, but interesting. Amy, how you going? Trump 100%. It was hard seeing him say Epstein wasn't the thing when I'm so serious about getting pedos gone. I trust the plan, just so tired and broken down, one all the way. Yeah, me too, Amy, but it will come around. It will come around. It will come back to that. They will get them. They may have to go another way about it, and I believe Epstein is a witness, so he can, even if he didn't do much himself, then they're best using him. Alex said, I thought it may have been oh, God love you.
Shannon tipped $3. Fucking bullshit went from 13 to 20. The whole Crown shit show is rigged.
Oh, good on you, Shannon. Oh, no. Yeah, well, I tried to turn it off. I don't know what happened. It just didn't let me. I thought I did turn it off, but it's still there. So I don't know what's going on. But I hear you, Amy. Alex said, I thought it may have been the middle of the year, but that's the 2nd of July. Shannon said, just wait until the adrenochrome farms are exposed. Yes, exactly. Sal said, all I see on TikTok is immigration ads run by Indians already here. Yeah, that's what they do, yeah. There you go, Midland Modelling Agency, Peter Nygaard, Wikipedia. Zal said, where are all the white people going in Australia? Homeless, that's where they're going. George said, I don't watch TikTok. Deb said, what the fuck? Damn it, Mandy said, is that a package for immigrants? Yeah, we don't get any of that. We don't get thousands of dollars a month. 4,000 a month. They get more than we do. So, they get everything. Deb said, why are they now a suburb? Well, I'd love to know. George said, London's a shithole. Alex said, I think our countries are becoming shitholes thanks to a corporate government's Hev offering everyone else the dream while they're throwing us all under the bus. I agree. Sal said, that ad is about right. I see a load of blacks driving around in new cars, living in the new house being built, all working government subsidised jobs. Yep, we need to get rid of that. Carl said, hello all. Is all of this just overwhelming? The popcorn symbol just makes me want to step back and watch. I can't even be bothered arguing anymore. Don't argue with people. It's not worth it. Just take what you want and, do your own research. Don't believe anyone. Just make sure you do your own research and use your own discernment and stay calm because that helps. Shannon said, modelling and fashion are deeply into human trafficking and satanic practices. Mm-hmm. Alex said, me too, mate. Carl, you're not alone. Deb said, I love hearing the Australian birds in the background. Deb said, does North Carolina get more water? George said, I'll never stop arguing. I have Celtic blood. Yeah, I've got a bit of that problem too, George. Oh, but I don't think it's worth it anymore. I don't think, I don't know. Damn it, Mandy said, countries that refuse to take care of their own people but welcome foreigners while giving them everything their citizens bust their asses for should be fined millions till they do it right. I agree. But you've got to find the people, not the actual people doing it, not the whole country, because then that comes out of taxpayer money too. So, yeah, you've got to get Albanese and take everything from him, you know. Alex said, everything in moderation. I thought we get natural sugar from fruit. I don't have sugar in tea and such, so it never really bothered me. Yeah, I just throw questions out there, you know, I don't know, is cane sugar... I know cane sugar always used to be known as better for you than allegedly sugar beet sugar. We have many cane fields, sugar cane fields in Australia up north. Okay. Shannon said, always the same crew of bad actors. J1 said, while everyone's watching the storm for the new financial system's being implemented. For the first time in human history, retail had the opportunity for generational wealth, but no one was focused. Shannon said, we have the source. Deb said, who was running things before Epstein? Alex said, interesting. It always look over here, not over there, J1. Sybil said, knocking my socks off, Hev. Great job. Thank you, Sybil. God love you. Sal said, these people are truly sick. Sal said, after this goes down, the shift will occur. Yep, vile, evil monsters, Sal, says Alex. Shannon said, be careful who you follow. Definitely. George said, we live in the devil's system. Demon runs our countries. Sal said, only Hev and Channel 21, Shannon, or CH21. Shannon said, gatekeepers. Alex said, I hardly watch anyone either. This is the only chat I comment in regularly and maybe comment here and there in others. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. God love you. Deb said, yeah, I've been wondering what's going on while I have everyone distracted. And Menacing Muskrat put the Badlands media in there. Thank you so much. Shannon said, they got their gotcha trap set. Yep. Alex said, I mean, I watch a lot, but don't necessarily believe it. Lol, takes a lot of sifting through all the rubbish out there. It does, doesn't it? Alex said, you can slow it down, Hev, by pressing the cog near the arrow. The cog near the arrow. I see a cog over here. But I did that the other day and it didn't bring anything up. That's it. Overlay. It doesn't help me. Now, you've got to go into your normal YouTube, like where you'll go and watch everyone else, right? And you've got to hit the settings in there because I looked it up. Google have shown me how to do it and I did it. But it's still there. Keck said, we're being played and that it's true many operatives trolled us on this channel. Yeah. Menacing Muskrat said, you're most welcome, Deb. Keck, how you going anyway, Keck? Good to see ya. Alex said, I've clicked to see later. Thank you, Menacing. Deb said, love the video. Thank you, Shannon. Keck said, it's a real shit show. Some of us say, well, they should just let Maxwell go if it was all BS. Yeah, but it's not. That's the thing. I don't think it is. Shannon said they used bogus info to look into Trump, knowing that the info was fake. And Keck said after they all tried to jab us all. Shannon said the Barron Trump one. Sybil said the media are real dirty. Hey, Gown Kingdom, God love you. Good on you. Good to see you. Shannon said Trumps are time travellers. Menacing Muscat said Hevites, we're at the precipice. The storm is here. Hallelujah. I think we are. Ruff said we run out of homes in Australia. Every new immigrant makes a homeless Australian family. Yep. Alex said, I heard someone who apparently used to be in intelligence say earlier that a lot of the files may not have been digitalised yet, and some also destroyed, and will need a team to sift through them. Keck said, Trump is totally getting us out of the jab and all the stuff. Deb said, my moisture meter says it's very moist today in Adelaide. Alex said, it needs to come out, though, as we know there are people making abuse videos regardless. Yes. Sal said, the mighty game of deep state Kerplunk is about to go pop, I reckon. Shannon said, it wasn't the whole audio book now. I need to find the rest of it. I may have fell asleep listening to it last night. Deb said, so all mixed genders have to go to work now? Yep. How you going, Jules of Southern Oregon? How you going? Good to see ya. Alex said they need to redact all the survivors' names and then just show who abused them. Flyby said, what's happening? How you going, Flyby? Shannon said, on some of the artwork, they have that wheel within wheels, that thing Trump has in the White House for the World Cup soccer won by Chelsea. Deb said, yes, that's what I do. I love falling asleep to storytelling. Yeah, I do too. Thumbs it up, everyone, if you can. Thank you very much. Menacing Musgrave said, Marf said the reason why the White House was locked down was someone threw a cell phone over the White House fence. Wow. Sybil said, thanks, Hev, great job. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it, every one of you. Shannon said, weather war's going on. Jules said 100 degrees in beautiful southwest Oregon. Humidity's high. Yuck. Yeah, I don't like humidity. Makes the heat worse. Ruff said barley was the sugar in the 60s, then came cane. Oh, barley sugar. Okay, I didn't know. Deb said, yes, it could be Shannon. Sorry if I burped in anyone's ear just then. It just snuck out on me. Shannon said, silent weapons for quiet wars. Jules said, no, Beacons reacted to the Alaskan 7.2 earthquake. Menacing Muskrat said this earthquake might cause the axial seamount volcano to blow. Just saying. Shannon said, no, Chandler Bing was the character in Friends. No, Rachel Chandler was the main girl. That was, what's her face? What's his face's missus? I can't remember their names. Holy shit. Jennifer Aniston was Rachel Chandler. Sybil said the newspapers were very dirty as well, all of them. Shannon said Rachel Chandler is child handler. Yep. Menacing Muskrat said Jennifer Aniston and others allegedly say that they would chant Hail Satan before each show. Yes, apparently they did. Jill said, I'm 54 miles from the coast. Believe me, I am aware. I'm sure you are. Yeah, stay safe over there, guys. Shannon said they chant Hail Satan during the intermission on the show. Yeah, sending love and prayers, Jules. Definitely stay safe. Alex said it's a mix of Rachel Green and Chandler Bing from Friends. Shannon? Oh, it is too. Yeah, her name was Rachel Green, wasn't it? Not Rachel Chandler. It was Rachel and Chandler from, you're right. Sorry, I was wrong. Yes, you are. There you go. See, at least I admit my mistakes when I'm wrong. I'll say so. Okay, where am I? I don't know. I'm here somewhere. Oh, my God. Okay, we're here somewhere. Shannon said Jennifer Aniston and Courtney had a pee-pee. Anyway, Alex is cracking the chat up there. George said, would not surprise me, Shannon. Menacing Muskrat said, I remember that you Boy, teenager, he was definitely bruised up. Yeah, you remember him, don't you, Menacing Muskrat? Alex said that bloke behind Rachel Chandler with the silver hair looked like a mix of Billy Clinton and Epstein. Deb said the drug looked very grunge. Shannon said Courtney Cox also had a thing about eating little ones. Yeah, a lot of them a lot of them are very sick. Alex said, I was going to say, I remember that back in COVID when all the celeb was going mental for asking for Hanks, Shannon? Shannon said, Hillary's brother. I think so. That's the dead body they rolled out. Because it looked like Epstein, sort of. Alex said that too. I looked him up when Max said the other day about Hillary's brother. He does look like him. Deb said, yes, the girls were evacuated from the flood. Yes, video, all of them. Alex said a bigger version, but if he was sick, he could have lost weight and could easily pass as him. Yep. Sorry, my stomach's growling if you can hear that. I'm so sorry. Jules said something wrong with the Texas Mystic Christian Girls Camp Mystic. Really? Talk about an oxymoron. Lolling fools, just fools. Menacing Muskrat said EpiPen. George said, I got my crown back, lol. Alex said, love you, Shannon. Menacing said EpiPen wanted to spread his seed all over the world. Yuck. Yeah, he did. Jim said, yay, George. Damn it, Mandy said, for anyone in Australia, sadly, I'll never get to see your country. I saw a pic of a spider that wraps around a tree and blends in perfectly. I just can't. It's ugly and big. Hey, damn it, Mandy. You're in America, right? You got bears and freaking mountain lions and shit, man. You got worse things over there than we got here. They're little. You can at least, slap them with a fly swatter, man. And things like that, that are too big, you just sort of leave them alone and walk away from them. They don't chase after you or anything, so... But bears do. So do mountain lions. I don't get why people from America are so scared of Australia. I'm like, you got bears, man. Shit. Alex said, yes, some of the most terrifying critters in the world on the land of Oz. That's what we like to tell everyone, really. Deb said, yes, there's been found in Australia another really big spider. You can walk it like a dog. George said, Australia's a beautiful country. Nursing Muscat said, Canada stand immigrants get $72,000 to $85,000 and us Canadians might get $10,000, believe it or not. Jim said, I'm a sucker for the Aussie accent. Oh, good on you. Jill said, it's 4:20 somewhere, I'm an hour late. Alex said, mine was from the BCG, apparently for tuberculosis. I had no choice when I was a child, but if I could go back, I never would have gotten it done. Oh, yeah, we've all had some, most of us have, had some vaccine along the way, you know? Alex said, awesome, Shannon. Alex said, robot swearing. Yeah, that was funny when you did that, by the way, you legend. That's the way to do it, see? George said, me too, Alex. Menacing Muskrat said, July 17th and August 8th, Back to the Future, 8-8. Damn it, Mandy said, Alex, you all have ugly sliders. America has Democrats just as deadly. Shannon said, I don't want the crown, I want the Joker's hat. Shannon said, don't mind a bit of the old wooden spoon. George said, you're a joker, Shannon, lol. Ruff said, every new immigrant takes a home job from Australia now. Yeah, they do. Menacing Muskrat said, $ snake on a stick. Yeah, it's the same as the medical one, isn't it? Oh, no, the medical one, the snake wraps around the stick. Oh, it's the same thing. Deb said, I like true crime. Alex said, that was when you were trying to read that comment on Twitter about, without the sound, about the cog near the arrow. Oh. There you go. Thank you, Alex. Shannon said, that's because you're a baddie, Debs. George said, me too, Deb. Watched a documentary about a sheriff shooting a judge in the US. Be careful of true crime, though, because a lot of it's, I think, made up bullshit. To make you scared of people. Make people scared of other people. That's why the women pick the bears in the frickin' forest now these days. Yeah, be careful. I don't know. I watch a lot of true crime myself, and I'm just going, why don't I believe this? I don't know. Ruff said sugarcane is shit. In the 60s we had barley sugar. Okay. There you go. Interesting. Deb said, we Spanish flu, very interesting American Horror Stories documentary. Menacing Muskrat said, just be prepared, stock up, keep cash on hand and fuel up, top up. Shannon's put a bunch of eggplants in there. George said, always give you a thumbs up, Hev. Thank you, guys. George said, I've lost my crown again, lol. Yeah, you got to comment a whole lot. That's what you got to do. Just keep commenting, like, goes nuts. Shannon said, what? I can't read any of that. I think your cat's on the keyboard. Oh, he said, fuck you, autocorrect. Okay, at the end. Alex said, me too. My list of like videos is mainly just Hevs. Oh, God, love you. Thank you, guys. Shannon said, no. Carl said, Rachel Green and Chandler Bing. That's right. Yep. Yeah, you were right. You were definitely right. I was definitely wrong. Oh, my God. Yeah, damn it, man. He said it was Rachel Green. Yep. Alex said, I know, George. More comments needed, lol. Shannon said, Rachel Green and Chandler Bing. You're right. Yeah, no, I'm wrong, yeah. No problem. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. Shannon said, the guy who played Chandler died in a hot tub in real life, Matthew Perry. Yes, he did. Under unusual, strange circumstances. With some drug, ketamine or something as well. I don't know, something like that. Deb said, Shannon was right. Shannon said, Shannon knows shit. Deb said, he sent out the Batman signal from his hot tub. Menacing Muskrat said, Chrissy Teigen is another sick. Yeah, she is. Alex said, yeah, the doctors are making thousands prescribing Matthew Perry ketamine, yep. Shannon, he was tweeting some strange stuff a few days before he died on the full moon. Yeah, Shannon, Teigen is a sick wiener. J1 said Australia's mosquitoes are the size of small birds, yep. Deb said, yes, just asked our Dr. Timmer, mountain lion, yeah. And other things, like you've got cougars and you've got some deadly animals over there. Deb said, Shannon's very funny. Alex said, right before Leave the World Behind came out and Julia Roberts' birthday, who apparently used to date him, Shannon. Menacing Muskrat said, thank you, Hev. I will gladly deal with bears and mountain lions, but I would freak out if I seen a huge spider. See, I've got the opposite problem. I'm not worried about the spiders or snakes or anything. I'm more worried about freaking bears and mountain lions, man. Dolores said smallpox was required for every child in the US. Damn it, Mandy said, I went to Camp Mystic when I was a kid, so did my best friend. She's not white. It was expensive, though. Deb said, I'll look forward to a watch party. Yep. Well, hopefully we get there one day. If the news would slow down enough, I could do one. Alex said, the size of dinner plates and the false widows, not windows, Menacing Muskrat. Dolores said, I'm watching the same story about the sheriff and the judge. Sybil said, FBI and fake news are the one and the same. Yep. Operation Mockingbird. Shannon said, trannies everywhere in Hollywood, pretty women, they live to throw it in your face. They love to throw it in your face. Julia Roberts, a man horse. Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock, a man. Yeah, I know, I've heard it all. I know. Menacing Muskrat said, I couldn't do it all, face a bear, Alex. Alex said, black widows in Australia, we have false widows here. George said, okay, Dolores, a bit weird. Menacing Muskrat said, nope. Menacing Muskrat said to Ghislaine Maxwell, her father had many other names, sick family, that is. Shannon said, was just testing ways to increase my XP. Oh, dear. Your top fans. Alex said, apparently found floating in the sea, Menacing Muskrat. George said, false widows, spiders are harmless, Alex. Shannon said, got to get ready to take kids to get new glasses fitted. I'm nearly finished. And Zal said, a shimmer around the rim. So with that, I'm going to leave it there for today. Hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone, and I shall hopefully talk to you tomorrow. Okay, guys. Much love. Bye. Good on you, Deb. I hope you get to hear that one at the end. Please get to hear that one at the end. Okay, have a good one, guys. Bye.